just bear with me. I didn't get them set up in time. So I'm doing it right now. So let me hit the live Facebook one. Let's see, did I put the date on there too? Just come on in and pretend I'm not even here, y'all. Come on into the waiting room there on YouTube, and I'm going to get Facebook up here. Bear with me. All right. All right, YouTube is up. I don't know how many people's going to come back on. We were talking earlier, some of y'all like to discuss cases that are going on right now. So I do not know much about the case because I've only heard bits and pieces, and a lot of it, when you go look it up on Facebook, not Facebook, but if you just Google, update, there's so many updates out there that's false. So if you know a false something, don't report on that. Now, Carolyn says they're taking a wire device from the roof right now. I tried to find it on my local news. I guess I'm too far east. Nothing was on the news. Let me get this over here where I can see y'all's comments, y'all, because I couldn't find anything on the news, so I do not know any updates at all. One of my friends and I was discussing this. We like to discuss cases too when we see it. But I haven't heard anything. I did hear that the FBI went out there, I thought yesterday, because the local police had released it as a crime scene. FBI shows up, they put the police tape back up, and I put Fox News on. I don't know the channel for Fox News. I put on Fox, so maybe it's a different thing. She has been gone, Robin Smith said, 6 days now. And they found a camera on the roof. All right, well, I don't know if I get Fox News or not. I don't know what station that is. I just put it on channel 5, which is Fox. Why were they on the roof looking under things and in the bushes? I can't believe that there was no alarm system. Y'all, if I had a mama and millions of dollars, I think I'd make sure she had an alarm system on her house. If I was a famous person and had millions of dollars, I'd make sure my mama, 84 years old, that couldn't run, had an alarm system. I can't believe. I mean, a Ring doorbell is one thing, but a Ring doorbell, all it's going to show you is who's ringing your doorbell. Who's coming up, legitimate, and ringing your doorbell. Well, people that's going to try to break in your house, they're not going to come up there and show their face on a Ring doorbell. I don't know. Do y'all know if they broke in the back door? One person said there was forced entry. I don't think there was forced entry in the front door because the Ring doorbell was on. But of course they stole the Ring doorbell, so maybe you can get it and your picture's on it and then you smash it. I don't know. Somebody said there had to be an alarm system. I have not heard anything. Has anybody said anything about an alarm system? Something that goes off when you break a window or open a door or step inside, it goes ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a. Most elderly people, if you can afford it, would have one of them on your house, and it looks like she could afford stuff. Now, I'm just saying, looks like they could afford it. Now, Penny Hart said there was no forced entry. Now, I have heard that there was forced entry, but I don't know if it's the front door or the back door. Patty said she heard they found something like a camera or something on the roof. Uh, Pauline is saying that they disabled her uh, pacemaker. What has happened with the pacemaker? She has a pacemaker, and it was programmed with her Apple Watch. And what I think the blood came from, I haven't heard anybody say this, but I think she had that Apple Watch on because that maintained her pacemaker. So I don't even think she took it off to go to sleep. So what I think has happened, I think they ripped it off her arm, and maybe her arm was bleeding because they ripped it off her arm, or took it off and scratched her arm or something like that. And because the Apple Watch is still there now, I don't know if it was torn off, ripped off, opened off. I know the blood was hers. Uh, I know they're not going to show us anything. Let's see. I can't take pace. I don't know anything about pacemakers, but I'm thinking if they made, I know they made her take it off or left it there. Oh, okay. They said the back door was found open. Well, we know they took her out the front door because of the blood. I did hear she was on blood thinners, but I don't know. Oh, they said today the pacer could work for, let me see. I'm getting mixed up. What my understanding of a pacemaker, she had it programmed to her Apple Watch. It's still going to work without the watch, but what happens if your pacemaker, if you got it on and it goes haywire, it's going to send a signal to your Apple Watch and alert somebody or something, or the company or something. Is the way I think it works. I know you cannot take your pacemaker off. She still has her pacemaker. That's inside her. I know they put it this way. Some people say they don't know much. They know more than they're telling us. They can't tell it all. If they told it all, it might mess up the investigation. So they can't tell us all. So you know that they know more than what's going on. Oh, somebody said they're live on CNN right now. Oh, somebody said that the doctor can check her pacemaker. I know there are programs where they can monitor your pacemaker. I don't know if they can find her. I'm sure they're looking at all that. It does continue working. Yeah, the Apple Watch was just a tool that would help her look to see what was going on. Oh, they got oh, the Apple Watch needs to be charged, but the Apple Watch is only alerting stuff, and if it's not with her, it's not going to learn anything. Yeah, it's just a monitoring device. It's on live right now on Fox News. I am not in there by the TV. Somebody said they bet the daughter and son-in-law took her. I would hate to think that somebody would do this to their mother-in-law, and then just sit there and act like they're looking for her. I would hope not that would be the case. But you don't know. What they're not telling us, all we see is Savannah's relationship to her mother. We don't know the relationship with the sister Annie or the brother-in-law. And I heard an interesting headline today. I see all these headlines, but they don't tell you nothing. But the headline was maybe Savannah was getting ready to go to Italy for the Olympics. And the son-in-law is actually from Italy. So maybe he didn't want her going over there, so he stole Mama so she wouldn't go. Now, y'all, there's so many theories out there. I don't know. Uh, I don't know how the cops missed going on the roof. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how they did that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I was the investigator, I would surely look at all the streets coming in. Was it a one way in, one way back out? Uh, do anybody have a car that passes by? And I can't believe they said it was such a safe neighborhood. A lot of the people around it, a lot of the neighbors don't even have cameras. Well, I find that hard to believe, y'all. Those were some big, nice homes. So I would think um, they would have a security system. I mean, a camera is one thing, but you need a security monitoring system where somebody comes in your house. I don't know what the son-in-law's nationality is. I heard that it was Italian, so I don't know. Maybe he didn't want her going to the Olympics. I don't know. Maybe he got mad because she was going to the Olympics and he wasn't. I don't know. Yeah, you do not need the Apple Watch for the pacemaker to work. So it's still going to work. It's just not going to have a monitoring device on it. And there is a lot of fake news articles. Y'all, people are going all over Facebook, TikTok, all these things, making all these little videos. Act like they got an update. They ain't got no update. They're not there. There's no update. But they act like they have an update because they want people to click on their thing and, get them some views, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, they said her house was very far off the road. I did hear about a white van that was parked there in the neighborhood last week or something, and it didn't have any writing on it. It's always a white van now. Somebody does know something. So, I mean, right now the reward's only $50,000. They started out at 2,500. So, yeah, there is a lot of fake news. A lot of people believing they have updates. A lot of people, I mean, I come on here because I know a lot of y'all and we're just talking about it. But a lot of people's posting videos on all their social medias just to get people to come on there and watch them. They're not trying to have a discussion. I'm trying to learn from y'all because I know a lot of y'all have followed the case a lot more closely than I have. So I thought if I just went live to talk about it. I did hear that somebody thinks there's some information in the ransom note that only the abductors would know. Something from inside the house, and I did hear a broken floodlight, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. They'd have to be, they would have to be, let's see, there was a camera that only detected movement. Yeah, the $50,000 reward now is from the FBI. It does sound fishy. They're probably they look at people that, first of all, they're not going to say right day one that the son-in-law is a suspect. They're not going to do that. They are going to dig and dig and dig and dig till they have something legitimate, and then they'll nab them. They're not going to tip him off and yeah, you were the last person to, most of the time it's the last person to see the person. How many times does that work? And I heard Nancy Grace say the kidnapper is probably a man because, to her knowledge, there's never been a woman that sent a ransom note to get somebody. It was always a man. So Patty said, I think a wild animal got her. I don't think a wild animal got her. But I don't know why they said they're out there looking in her yard now. Yeah, I know that I think Savannah or the family had offered $2,500 for a tip. That's kind of a joke, y'all. I mean, if I even had a tip, I'd hold out for more, wouldn't y'all? uh, but I don't know where the son-in-law has been. Uh, yeah, and I heard somebody say, where was her grandchildren? I don't know if she has, because y'all, this happened to somebody I know, a grandma. They had a granddaughter around 16, 17, whatever. That granddaughter did drugs, and she got one of her friends, her boyfriend, or two guys. She got two guys, talked two guys in, said, I know where we can get some money and stuff from my grandma. And y'all, they broke in that poor grandma's house, and they tied that grandma up, and her granddaughter is right there. So I don't know if Nancy has grandkids or what or what, you know, as anybody, I haven't heard any mention of any grandkids, but that actually happened to somebody I know. Uh, and, they didn't get by with it because, grandma knew that girl. They just tied her up. I think they beat her up too, to tell you the truth. I think the boys roughed her up or whatever, but it all came out in the wash, and it was her granddaughter's doing. I know they've said all along that, somebody's asking what happened with that case that was just in the next county over, y'all know, where the man killed his wife and cut her up in little pieces and distributed her body to a bunch of dumpsters. Him and her had a 1-year-old daughter. He was trying to flee the country. Luckily, they got him. They don't know, there's no body because he cut her up in pieces, and they got him on film throwing bags of trash in various apartment complex dumpsters in the middle of the night with gloves on. Now, why are you going to do that? You getting rid of a body little by little. That's disgusting. He chopped his own wife up. He's still in jail, and his trial hasn't come up yet. Okay, we don't know anything about grandkids. They never did find that woman's body because they found the knives and all this other kind of stuff, but he's still waiting to go to trial. He's not went to trial yet. Yeah, people are sick. I don't know if this could be staged. I don't know. It don't make sense. Somebody definitely knew what they were doing by going in there and smashing the cameras, getting her, whatever. But I just don't know why you wouldn't have an alarm system on your house. Let's see. Y'all think the grandchildren are all young. Okay. Yeah, the FBI has access to so much, y'all, that and they usually, they might tell you because they try to throw people off. So they're not going to tell you, we got a suspect, we got 2 suspects. They're not going to tell you that. Even though they may have 2 suspects, they are not going to tell you that they have a suspect. They're going to wait till they got, they're not going to tell you anything until they find her. Because if they tell you, we think it's somebody and they're at the border and whatever, they're not going to tell you that. That person's going to flee with grandma. So the deal is they got to get grandma home before they before they solve it and tell you any answers. You're not going to know anything until they know where grandma is, they seen grandma, they got grandma, and then they may tell you something. They will swoop in. You think they throwing people off is what they do. They will tell people, we don't have any suspects. We have no idea what's going on. They're just throwing people off because you can bet whoever's got her has got their TV on, has got their social media up. They can read all these comments. You think they're not looking at everything? I mean, they probably ain't on my page, but all these big news shows and stuff like that. Yeah, the FBI is not going to tell you anything. They are not going to tell you if it's anybody in the family. You will not know they're looking at anybody in the family. They will just appoint a person and say, so-and-so, this is your task. You check this dude out. You check this one out. You follow this lead. You do that. And yeah, I know Savannah and them, at the direction of the FBI, they approved everything that they said on that tape. Oh, Nancy Grace is on Talking Now. Oh, I like to watch Nancy Grace. I love to hear her talk. Uh-oh. Here we are talking about crimes, and somebody's coming in my front door, but it's Tony. We're on here talking about crime.
I've been watching.
Oh, he's been watching me. I like to discuss stuff like this because I'm just trying to get clues from y'all to see what y'all have heard. And yeah, they have not showed anything inside the house. They're not going to, because you got these crazy people that's going to write ransom notes and said, well, this and that. But actually, they got a ransom note again today, or even the ransom note the other day, the one that they think is kind of legitimate, that contains information that only the captors would know. It may say something about the roof camera. So that, it might say something like that. That's why they went back out there. So there's something in the ransom note that police would think it's legitimate. And now they're saying that the ransom note is very well written, good English. So I don't think it's somebody that popped up from Mexico. They're not going to have the good English. And it was perfect English, they said. So I don't know if y'all heard that or not, but let's see here. Yeah, they do have to provide proof of life before they're going to release any money, that's for sure. Something in the new note they got has something, that's why they're up on the roof. They probably got some kind of information, and they got to check it out because they're trying to figure out, is this note legitimate? Do these people really have grandma? Yeah, they said the ransom note was written by a very educated person, and but they're not going to say much. I mean, the news will put a chopper in the sky and show you what's going on because they're trying to sell news. That's the bottom line with everybody's update. They're trying to sell news. Everybody says breaking news because all the news stations want you to, let's see, Cooking with Pam and Nancy needs meds. I don't know. Nancy needs her meds. But even if you don't get your meds, you may not die right away. I mean, sometimes meds just help you feel better, but it's not going to kill you. They keep saying she had life-threatening. See, somebody said, can you cite your source on that information? What information was you talking about? All I'm saying is what I've heard on the news. Why would they take something? Oh, why would they take the daughter's car? My guess is they took the daughter's car because she rode in that car. The brother-in-law, I think the brother-in-law drove her home that night, I think, in that daughter's car. So that's the last place they were in there, they think. So they're going to take and look at that. And they're going to see if there's any blood in that car. Because whatever car she got into, she dripped. She dripped on the seat. She dripped, you know. You think they would like bandage her up before they got her out of there, but they moved pretty quickly. You know, at 1:45, the cameras went off. By 2:12, they had her out the front door. So, what is that? 15 and 12, about 20 minutes, and they was moving slow. But if you woke Grandma up in the middle of the night, you know she's got to get acclimated. They may have taken some medicine. I don't know if they looked at the medicine bottles and see. I don't know if she has the little pill thing that you put them in. Most people that age have the little pill thing that they put their morning and night pills in. I don't know if that's there and was still there. I don't know if the pill bottles was there. They don't tell us all that. If they think someone physically wrote a ransom note, probably not. Well, they got a ransom note, and they think it's somebody like that's real familiar with Tucson area because they sent it to Tucson. And why did they, yeah, let's talk about the Uber, y'all. Why did she take an Uber to her daughter's house? Because they said her car was there. Did she drive or did she not drive anymore? That confused me. If her daughter only lived 10 minutes away, why did she catch a Uber to go to her daughter's house? Why couldn't they come and get her if it's only 10 minutes away? To me, you must have money to waste if you're getting an Uber just to go eat dinner 10 minutes away at your daughter's house. I don't understand why they couldn't have come and got her. There's two of them. And also, oh, maybe she don't drive at night. That's a good thing, too. Well, she went in the evening. I think they said 5 o'clock or something. I don't even think it would have been dark. Okay, somebody said she does not drive anymore. They said her meds and her phone was there. All right, that's a good thing. I didn't think about that. She may not drive at night anymore. But why didn't her daughter just come and scoop her up if you're 10 minutes away? I would never tell my mom to catch an Uber. Well, at 84, my mom wouldn't even know. 84-year-olds, do y'all catch Ubers? I mean, does she know how to work her phone with an Uber app to catch an Uber? Maybe she does this all the time, but I don't know. I'm thinking if my daughter lived 10 minutes, I'd tell my daughter, get your honey over here and pick me up. Yeah, it's very weird that they did not pick her up. Very weird. When she was, I think they said she was 4 miles away. But the son-in-law took her home. That was weird too. But he did wait for her to get in the house, which that's normal. I've dropped people off and I always wait for them to get in the house. I don't get out of the car and go in with them, but I would wait till they got in their front door and I just assumed they would be safe. Now, I don't think these people, I don't know if they were in, I don't think they weren't in there waiting on her or they'd have took her right then. They broke in at 1 something in the morning. Uber is actually pretty safe. I ride Ubers Anytime I'm in other towns, they are very safe. And now even when you order an Uber, you can see on the Uber what the person looks like, what their car looks like, their tag number. They are vented through a Uber app. Uh, you can request woman only Uber. You can see how many rides they completed. So if somebody said they only completed 3 rides, I'm not going to get in that Uber. I'll say, go, if I'm in another one. If they say they completed 1,000 trips, well, that's pretty good odds you're going to get where you're going. But it is pretty safe. It's not like just an old taxi driver and you don't know who you're getting into. You know who's picking you up. Patricia said she wouldn't even let her 84-year-old mother live by herself. Yeah, I haven't never gotten nervous in an Uber. I've rode them to airports and from airports and stuff like that, and I've never, if one pulled up and he looked swanky or something, nah, I changed my mind, dude. I'll pay you, but I ain't getting in your car. But I've never had no problem. Let's see, they said the church she affiliated with only had 2 services on Sunday, and it was online only. I don't know, she didn't show up for church. And I wonder, did she normally drive her car to church? Yeah, what I think is if she had that Apple Watch on, they ripped it off her hand or something, or took it off rather quickly and skinned her hand up. They said old people will skin real quickly and bleed. I think that's where the blood droplets come from, if you ask me, but nobody's really asked me that. So I don't know. I know she doesn't look 84. Luckily, she has a sound mind and she's smart. So hopefully she's trying to talk to these captors who's ever got her. But oh, you heard she'd been watching church online. I don't know. But for some reason, I guess they talked to the person whoever called her daughter and reported her. Oh, somebody said she hasn't gone to church since COVID. Well, that's strange because her friend at church said she didn't show up and she always shows up. Pictures of her said she had a Band-Aid on her right arm. Oh, somebody said that they heard that she hasn't been to church since COVID, and the church has no idea who called and reported her not showing up. Oh, wow. I haven't heard that comment. Wow. Yeah, that's what they just kept saying, the timeline, that the church reported her. I don't know. All right, y'all. Well, we've been 30 minutes talking about this, and so we got a lot to go on. Y'all, we might make this a every couple day event. we got to find out what's going on. Y'all keep up with the news, not the fake news, but the real news, and we'll come back and discuss this another time, okay? Right. And pray. Yeah. I've been praying for that woman to get home safe. I can't imagine what she's going through. I hope they're feeding her and everything. I just hope she's alive. Yeah, old people's skin, that's right. If she's on blood thinners, she's going to bleed a lot if she's, I think it has something to do with taking that Apple Watch off of her. But they do not take the pacemaker out. Her pacemaker is implanted inside her, and that will continue to work until the battery dies. But it's not going to, she doesn't have to charge it or anything. That thing works for years. All right, y'all, yeah, please pray for Nancy for her safe return, okay? But we'll talk soon, y'all. Good night, everybody.